Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. This is my 2006 f250 XL Super Duty 6-liter diesel engine. I just bought this truck not too long ago for the property here and the farm and everything. This is my first diesel truck I've owned. I'm going to talk about what I looked for, some other diesels I looked at, some of the features on this vehicle, what's wrong with it, what I had to put into it, what I checked before buying it, all those sorts of things. So yeah, we'll do a quick walk around of the vehicle first, and we'll check out how it is and how it looks and everything. We'll just do a quick walk around of the vehicle, let you guys look at it. See, it's got a pretty cool Farmall sticker that came with it. It's got a clean body, no dents, no damages or anything like that. Everything underneath, first thing I looked at, if you want to inspect underneath here, look at these ball joints in the whole front end. You know, all these were good. They weren't busted. See, like up there, and there's some more up there, over here. Those weren't busted or anything. That's one of the things I checked. All in great condition. I mean, it looks like they've been replaced. Going along, you know, there's different trim levels: Lariat, XLT. This is just a XL Super Duty, nothing fancy. It's got a nice flatbed, a Baron from Maxwell. Yeah, you can see that. All the lights work on it. Trailer hookup, everything like that. Everything works. Blinkers, backup lights. I did make this part, just a piece of wood that I stuck in there. These sides do fold down as well. On the inside, you got your two of these, one there, one here on each side. And of course, you know, your flip hitch, you take that off and your hitch is under there. And it's got a little rust here and a little dent there. Really not that bad of rust on this vehicle. I've seen a lot worse. But yeah, that's the vehicle. It's pretty clean looking. And yeah, looks nice. We'll also look at the interior here. It does have a cracked mirror over there. You probably can't see it. But the interior, this is the XL option, so it doesn't have anything super fancy. But you can see it's got this leather and all rubber, new floor mats in it. And it's got the little half door. Just got a bench seat here. And I've got crap in there because I went fishing and stuff like that down at the pond over there. But yeah, I like this stuff. It's easy to clean. Same with the rubber floors, it's easy to clean. But it's just really basic inside. You know, this is still up. This isn't falling down. I've had somewhere this top is falling down on it. Clean inside, not a cracked dash or anything like that. So all the lights work in here. Everything works like it should on the vehicle. So yeah, that's the interior. We'll go ahead here and pop the hood and look underneath there. Now, there have been some modifications to this vehicle. Not many that I can tell, except for the exhaust that I showed you earlier. That's been modified. And there's also an air intake that's been modified, which we'll see when I open the hood. So with the hood open, you can see it's got this new intake. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, you can see all that is new. It's not stock. I like my vehicles stock when I get them. That's how I like to keep them. But I've seen some other ones that have like a coolant filter. A coolant filter. This doesn't have that. Coolant is good. I haven't had any issues with it. But that's really the only thing that's been modified on this vehicle is the intake there. And then, like I showed you over here in that video, I talked about the exhaust as well. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's stock height, stock. Any other components are stock. It actually did have this oil filter cap, and oil filter was not stock. They used something else, and when I went to change the oil when I bought it, I couldn't change this. The cap said do not reuse cap. So of course I had to go and buy this one with a motorcraft filter, and that worked perfect. what have I had to do with this vehicle when I bought it? How much money have I had to put into it? It's a 6.0, you know, so what are some of the things I checked out? The 6.0 is an infamous engine, you know, for blowing head gaskets, having cooler problems, everything like that. So some of the things that I had to put money into when I first got it, as you just seen, was this oil filter cap, and the oil filter, which is all up top here, it's not down below. I had to get a new cap because they used a aftermarket one, and you couldn't use the Motorcraft filter with the cap. There was some other cap. That's a Doorman, and I do have a Motorcraft filter in that. I just had to take the old cap, throw it away, buy this cap, which was like $23 from AutoZone, and then buy a filter, which was $20, the internal filter. And then I also had to buy 15 quarts of oil, which was, I think, I don't know, 60 bucks or something like that. Another thing I had to replace, I replaced 2 components in here. One problem I was having was with the AC. Well, not really the AC, but what I was having a problem with was I would turn this on max AC. I would turn it to, you know, it wouldn't matter what I'd turn it to. It would always be on defrost. So it was cold air, but it was all coming out here. So I looked on the internet, tried to find the problem with that. And, you know, I looked for a vacuum leak. I followed these hoses down. I followed them down to the hubs and the 4-wheel drive actuator thing. There was no leaks in any of the hoses. Then I seen a video where it might have been this place, your 4-wheel drive locking hub or something like that. And it's just this little piece that bolts on down there, real easy to fix. I bought this, and I think it was $80 or something, and it still didn't work. I was like, oh crap. But I found another video of testing your vacuum pump, which is you take this off while it's running, and you see if this is this thing under here is sucking. Mine was not, so I had to go buy one of these. I think it was 100 as well, or maybe it was 89 or something. I put that on, and boom, I had AC coming out of the feet. I had it coming out on your body. It all worked fine after I replaced that. So I had to buy that. Another thing I had to get was I had to get this board, which was nothing. I don't even know if I could include that, but spray paint. I just got a board and spray painted it, stuck it in there. That's all the money I've had to spend on this vehicle so far. And next I'm going to tell you what I looked for and some of the tests I did on the vehicle before I bought it, knowing that it was a 6.0. So the first thing I did when I went to look at this vehicle, I messaged the guy. We talked for a while about it. I told him, do not start it. I want to start it cold. So he let it set, and I came and looked at it the next day. I felt the hoses, made sure they were cold. I drove it over here to the property, and those are hot. But I made sure they were cold, and not that these hoses weren't brittle or anything, and they were cool, and they were, you could squeeze them and stuff. So that was one thing I did. The other thing I did was I took this, where is it? It's like here. You can disconnect this. It's over here. You disconnect that, and this little thing right here, and you put that on your positive, and it'll turn over. It'll go do 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 do, and you want to listen for an even sound of compression. I guess that's what I've heard, and that sounded fine, so that was good. Next thing I did was I got that some blue stuff, leak detectant, a head gasket leak detectant, which you unscrew this, you stick it in there, you got blue liquid, and you suck up the gases, and if there's any fuel detected in your tank or in your coolant system, it'll turn green for diesel and orange if it's a gas truck. It was fine, so I knew the head was fine. I went underneath and I looked for oil leaks coming out from anywhere, and there is a small oil leak coming from this valve cover. I believe it's just that valve cover. I checked the oil, was another first thing I did, and I checked the transmission oil to make sure there's no flakes or anything in the transmission. I wanted it to be nice and red. And the oil, first thing I did was I checked the oil to make sure, it wasn't bone dry or super black, or, try to determine how big the leak was. But on this vehicle, I checked it. It had oil, but it was dark. So that's why when I first got it, I changed all the fluids in it. So those were the things that I checked. I took it on a test drive. I drove it hard. I took it on the highway, got up to highway speed, slammed the brakes, made sure nothing was gonna come on. Hooked my little crappy machine up to check for any engine codes. There is an engine code for cylinder 2 glow plug, I guess needs replaced. I don't know, it's not a big issue. It doesn't affect how it runs, starts fine. That's the only mechanical issue as of right now, I know. The guy did take it to Ford dealership to replace some of the injectors, and I ran a Carfax report on it, and I found that repair work was done by the Ford dealership. This vehicle does have 331,000 miles on it, so you know those needed replaced, and they were replaced. I checked this front end. I crawl under here and I check this front end to see if any of these boots are broken up there and down here, and you know, on both sides. I check everything. You can see none of these are cracked or split or broken. There's nothing oozing out of them, which I've seen on a that on another F250 I looked up. The whole front end needed done, and the guy wanted $10,000 for it. I told him, no way, how am I doing that? But this vehicle with 331,000 miles, I paid $6 grand for. It might sound like a lot, but in this market, it's not. There was others on there way more expensive. This bed right here is 1.5 years old, and I actually called these people to ask them, you know, how much is a bed? How much is this exact bed? Like I said, I paid $6 grand for the whole truck. This bed cost $4,200 plus another $200 in tax. So you're looking at $4,400 for the bed plus the injectors. I don't know how much he paid the dealership for those. I know he said he replaced 3 injectors for it, so you know there's probably $600-800 or more. So you know you're already up at $5,500. Oh, and then you got the exhaust that he had put on, that new exhaust system. That's probably another $300-400. So there's $6,000 right there. You know, and I basically got paid that much for it. And it's a new to me truck. The body's good. It was in no wrecks. I am the 3rd owner. The first owner was just an old man who had it for farming, and then the guy I bought it from was a hot shot driver. He bought a new truck, so he was selling it. And you know, I did all the research, Carfax, checked everything out, had it inspected. Inspection came back clean. Like I said, it's just got a little bit of rust on it. Why did I buy this big truck for? It's not for my daily driver. I have a 2014 Prius C, a hybrid, and then I have this big, you know, diesel truck. I just got this for, as you can see out here, this is my dad's farm. We have got it for, you know, pulling tractors or stock trailers of cattle or pigs or whatever we have out here. It's 4-wheel drive. You know, you get on all these dips and hills when it rains and stuff. And my dad has already a Ram 1500, so now we have something bigger if we need to pull, you know, bigger trailers, tractor implements, things like that. And this truck's been good so far. I haven't had major issues with it. You know, I think I got a good deal on it for, you know, $6 grand for this, with new injectors, new exhaust, a year-old bed. That itself, I literally called the place 15 minutes ago just to ask him how much this was, and of course that's a 2021 model of this that costs $4,200, but this probably at least $3,500 for a year-old bed. But yeah, tires were in good shape, good tread. It's a good truck. It's a beautiful truck. I love how it looks. I love how it drives. So yeah, I'll start her up for you. You can have a listen to that exhaust system he's got on there. yeah, there you guys go. That's my 06 f250 Super Duty 6-liter Power Stroke diesel. So yeah, thanks.